Atlantis is the fourth orbiter in NASA's Space Shuttle fleet to launch from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Also designated Orbiter Vehicle 104, or OV-104, Atlantis is named after the primary research vessel for the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute in Massachusetts from 1930 to 1966. Atlantis arrived at Kennedy on April 13, 1985 from Palmdale, California, and spent 7 months in an orbiter processing facility while NASA and contractor workers prepared the vehicle for its maiden voyage.
Ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Atlantis. A new orbiter joins the shuttle fleet and it has cleared the tower.
Space Shuttle Atlantis launched on its first spaceflight, STS-51J, on October 3, 1985, and carried a classified payload for the U.S. Department of Defense. During the last 25 years, Atlantis has served as the on-orbit launch site for many noteworthy spacecraft, including the planetary probes Magellan and Galileo. Starting with STS-71, Atlantis pioneered the shuttle Mir missions, flying the first 7 missions to dock with the Russian space station. During the fourth docking mission, STS-79, in September 1996, Atlantis ferried astronaut Shannon Lucid back to Earth after her record-setting 188 days in orbit aboard Mir. In recent years, Atlantis delivered several vital components to the International Space Station, including the U.S. laboratory module Destiny, as well as the Quest joint airlock, and multiple sections of the integrated truss structure that make up the station's backbone. The STS-125 mission aboard Atlantis in May 2009 was the 5th and final Hubble Space Telescope servicing mission. Throughout the years, Atlantis has undergone 2 overhauls known as orbiter maintenance down periods. Some of the most significant upgrades and new features include installation of the drag chute, improved nose wheel steering, installation of the space station airlock and orbiter docking system, and the multifunction electronic display system, or glass cockpit. With the launch of Atlantis on STS-132, the vehicle will have flown 32 missions, carried more than 200 astronauts to and from space, and traveled hundreds of millions of miles.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Firing chain is armed, sound suppression water system activated. T-minus 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Go for main engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis, reaching the crest of its historic achievements in space.
Houston, Atlantis is in a roll. Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Houston is now controlling. The roll maneuver is complete. Atlantis is in a heads-down position on course for a 51.6 degree, 136 by 36 statute mile orbit. The 3 main engines on Atlantis have now been throttled down to 72% of rated thrust as the orbiter prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle in the lower atmosphere. The engine's now beginning to throttle back up.
Atlantis, you are go at throttle up. Copy, go at throttle up.
All 3 engines looking really good, back at full throttle now at liftoff. The fully fueled shuttle, boosters and external tank, weighed 4.5 million pounds. It now has burned half of that liftoff weight in propellant. 1 minute, 30 seconds into the flight. All three auxiliary power units that provide hydraulic power to the orbiter's systems in good shape, as are the fuel cells providing electricity to all of the systems on board. Atlantis is already 19 miles in altitude, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 20 miles, traveling 2,500 miles per hour. Coming up on staging, the point at which the twin solid rocket boosters burn out and separate from the orbiter. Booster separation confirmed.